The big buzzword is AI, but how are people really leveraging it and able to execute with a customer and build a value proposition to move at the speed of a deal now? That's one of the biggest things. The second thing is really margin compression, because the cost of goods has gone up so much that people, how are they able to afford things? So how are they making it palatable for them to build it into a budget to help sell more cars?
You know, you spend a lot of time working with dealers across the country, and you're at a show like this with so much going on. What are some topics that are like really standing out? You're hearing a lot in these sessions and conversations you're having.
So the big buzzword is AI, but how are people really leveraging it and able to execute with a customer and build a value proposition to move at the speed of a deal now? That's one of the biggest things. The second thing is really margin compression, because the cost of goods has gone up so much that people, how are they able to afford things? So how are they making it palatable for them to build it into a budget to help sell more cars? Those are kind of the two biggest areas I've seen.
Yeah. I mean, those are important with there's not as much money floating around. People's budgets are smaller, so you got to really maximize it.
Absolutely, and interest rates are higher.
You know, a lot's changed over the years. We're looking back at, it's crazy to think COVID was, 6 years ago now? So even in the last 6 years, there's been a lot of ups and downs. I mean, how would you describe the mindset of a dealer right now?
So I've seen a lot of dealers have that little COVID lapse, meaning they made so much money then, what got you here is not going to get you there. And so we've seen a lot of dealers making changes in leadership because of the fact that now they need to go back to the consumer sentiment of about 2013 is really, if you look at it economically, of where we're at. Meaning we came out of the recession just a little bit before then, and margin compression was the same issue that we're dealing with today. And we all saw that during COVID, it was very transactional because they were making a lot of money on limited market supply. And so because of that, the consumer sentiment has really dropped in automotive. And so how do you change that?
Yeah.
And so that's what we're really seeing.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a big proponent of customer experience, and that took a dive during COVID. So now it's like really, Rosa, how can a dealer just differentiate itself? And one surefire way is just providing a better experience.
Well, and to that point, whenever you're helping bridge that gap with the consumer, being more relational is really big. Because going from transactional to really building a relationship with retention, understanding them, what their needs are, and helping them really bridge the gap too of inflation. If they think eggs are expensive, they don't know that parts and labor has gone up anywhere from 19 to 52%, depending on the type of manufacturer over the last 3 years. So how is that going to impact people's pocketbooks?
Yeah. So we're at a show like this, and you already mentioned it, like AI is the buzzword. There's always some new shiny object. And so how does a dealer like really come to a show like this and be intentional with what they're looking for and making sure they're not just like feeding into just the hype and the noise, and they're actually getting a solid product that's going to be able to benefit them and make an impact?
So I think you have to start with what's your why. Like, what are you looking for, and where's an area of operational needs that you have? And then from there, doing a little bit of back research prior to going to the show to really source out maybe 3 opportunities within different vendors to really ask deep questions. Then you can bring back the data and make a decision based on that. Like, for example, a lot of these companies are saying, hey, we have AI. Okay, but really, what's the use case? And how is it going to integrate to our systems? Are the APIs going to connect? Is it going to help us move at the speed of the deal faster? Because when a customer is there at the store and they're using AI in certain ways, or even customer communication, or is it a little bit more personal? And the speed to the lead, getting that customer converted over to an appointment and showing up at the store. So bridging all of these different gaps, I think, are really important.
And so when you think about, bridging those gaps and following up faster, that's where something we do really well at Spyne with our conversational AI agent, Vinny. I mean, how can, if the dealer is hesitant to think about adding that to their arsenal of tools, what would be some advice to give them to maybe help them on the idea?
That's great. It's a great question. So time is money. And what I think of is what's working now. And if it's working great now, what are your percentages? And if you can optimize that and increase it by 10, 15% better, what is that worth to you? And if you're also able to mitigate not only your people's time that they're spending on certain things, that they can do what they're built to do best and be more effective there, and then also mitigating that consumer transaction time for a better customer experience, what is that worth to you?
Yeah. Yeah, I was just having a chat with your buddy, Plain Lundy. We were talking, and they said one thing everyone wishes they had more of was time. So being more efficient with it. So you've seen a lot of tools come and go over the years in your experience. I mean, when a dealer implements a new tool or a platform, like, I mean, what should their goal be for bringing that into the fray?
One, how easy does it integrate into your process and tech stack? Number two, what is the overall operational costs that are incurred to use the system? And three, what's the ROI? Because when you're looking at all of those areas, if it's helped producing more deals that are more profitable, you're happier customers, so then you're gonna have retention, everything is measurable, then you know it's a win-win.
Yeah.
You never wanna find a zero sum, right? Where they're winning, you're losing, or vice versa.
Good answers. Wow. Okay, so let's dive into your world a little bit of F&I.
Yeah.
Having spent a lot of time in F&I, from that lens, like, what's one lesson that a dealership could learn from?
I can tell you the biggest area of opportunity right now is training. So what I've seen is when we're working with stores and I spend 2 days with them, and in their worst volume month of the year, we give them $120,000 F&I variable lift from 2 days of training. I'm realizing more people need modern day technology integrations with old school basic things that we use from 5-year cost to own tools, or the JD Power dependability charts, helping people understand that 6 years ago in 2019, they were half the problems they are today. And really bridging that gap with the consumer of looking at, on their credit application, they have gross income, but really what's their net and what's their disposable? And really, are they gonna be able to self-insure like they say? Can they really afford it? Are you looking at their credit reports and really digging in and being a true consultant to help them understand? Or even people that wanna buy cash, because we're seeing, since interest rates are a little relatively higher, a lot more cash buyers. Well, if we can get a subvented rate with the manufacturer and they can keep that cash, because cash is king, and put it in a brokerage account and yield even 11% on that money compounded versus simple interest at 3.9, the delta is huge. At $70,000 over a 60-month loan, five-year note, it's like $40,000 difference.
Wow. I've never had anyone offer me that type of advice buying a car before.
Using AI to do that too.
Yeah.
You can literally plug it all into ChatGPT and it'll produce you exactly what you need.
Take that into account next time. Yeah, I really like that advice. I just said that. So AI is everywhere. I mean, what do you think separates the winners from the losers when it comes to adoption?
Well, it's integrations. If you can integrate and make things seamless, if the setup is easy, if it's talking to all of the different platforms you need to acquire the data, to be able to leverage it towards moving towards a deal faster or communicating with the customer faster, and knowing all of the, let's say, the legacy information they had, ownership history, things like that. Nothing is worse than whenever I used to get those old mailers in the mail that was like, hey, we want to get you an oil change on that 2018 Sierra 1500. I'm like, I haven't had that vehicle for 3 vehicles, right? So having actionable intelligence that's relevant and truthful that can then convey credibility to the customer that you can move on, I think is really key.
Yeah, I still get from another state I lived in years ago, 3 cars ago, calls like asking if it's time to trade that in.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It just shows, I mean, are you even paying attention? I told the last 5 people I moved already.
That's what I'm saying.
Updating the CRM.
You think if I brought up something that I had no clue with my wife, she'd be happy?
It would only take you one time.
That's it. You lose.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up with one more question. I mean, with so many competing priorities going on in the auto space, and for a dealer and a GM to really think about, they're being pulled in so many different directions. What would you say is the top 1-2 areas they should focus on?
In terms of the dealership operations, it's really going to come down to where are the benchmarks for your areas. So in terms of front end gross on new and used car, what are the benchmarks? On the back end, what are the benchmarks and your hallmarks of your goals of where you're at versus where you can be, and how to bridge that gap? Because at the end of the day, dealers are making less money now. So and F&I has been completely linear over the last 10 years. So focusing on that area and helping, like talking about the training we talked about, conveying that and bridging that gap, because every customer should be buying protection nowadays. And if they're not, they don't understand the cost of things and really how it's going to impact their lives.
Yeah. Yeah, it just takes one thing to go wrong and they'll kick themselves for not getting that coverage.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Chad, thanks for stopping by. How can people find you and connect with you?
Yeah, so people can find us on our website at elevationdealerservices.com or Instagram, elevationds, or you can find me on LinkedIn, Chad Staples.